We're back at the Eye at the Potato Expo. Our final two chefs are with us. We just went through the Spud Nation Throwdown. So, RJ, what did you think of it?
I had a fantastic time. It was really cool to see the potato innovation and work with some amazing chefs. The camaraderie that we had, even though it's a competition, you know, it's still healthy. We heckled each other a little bit, but we all had a great time, and I think we all created some fantastic dishes.
Well, I heard that you and Jason are now pen pals.
Yeah, we are. We're going to keep in contact from across the pond. You know,
and, no problem.
So what did you think of your first Spud Nation Throwdown?
I loved it. This is the first time I've come to the States as well. So I mean,
oh, I didn't know that.
It could be worse.
So
I mean,
so we could have given you a lot more hazing than we did.
Yeah, you can try, but you wouldn't get away with it.
So, you know, what, besides the camaraderie, I mean, when I walked up on the stage, the aromas from everybody's dishes were unbelievable, and the kind of sophisticated dishes that you all made out of, you know, potatoes and all those other ingredients just blew me away. Let me take a step back. How did you get here to be a chef, to create these kinds of award-winning dishes? What was your background?
My background was, well, to start off with, I wasn't supposed to be a chef. I was going to be a PE teacher, physical education. And my brother, who's a chef, my other brother, who's a chef, my mum worked in a pastry house, and my dad, who was a policeman, did all the cooking at home. So we were ground in it. So, and I went, and it really inspired you. And not only that, but you know, in our industry, we're here to please people. You know, and take something like a potato, where you've got so many things to do with a potato, and really now, as with any ingredient, you know, any major ingredient, the way that you produce it or the way that you promote it to the public is what you can do with it. So you need to find different things that you can do with it. And now the public is so, with all the different emissions, with the TV programs, you know, you have to be so innovative now to be able to promote, you know, even basic ingredients that, you know, it's very challenging for us as well. So we need to go that bit further to try and get out there and push it a bit further.
So what I was very impressed with our audience here, and everybody who's here is in the potato business. They really are. And when you would bring up your dishes, the amount of people that come up to take pictures of them was amazing to me, because you would think, they get it. So how did you get here?
So I spent, I went to culinary school right out of high school, so it's always been a passion of mine. And interestingly enough, nobody in my family, unlike Chef Jason, you know, has ever been in the culinary field. And so for me, I don't know where this passion came from, but it just stuck with me. Right after that, I did the fine dining thing. I worked in some top restaurants in Napa, Chicago, etc. And then I worked as a private chef on yachts for a while. So I really got to develop my own style.
Yachts?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So not only, obviously, is it a very wealthy clientele, but I've got to imagine that the kitchen that you have to work in is much smaller, much more limited?
It's very small. The galleys on those boats, you know, you can all but turn around in them. And,
wow.
you know, you're cooking for a very discerning clientele, people who have traveled all over the world and have developed some very strong palates. And so it's really interesting to make sure that whenever we're cooking something, especially with something as humble as a potato, that we are still trying to have that sensory analysis of hitting, you know, your sense of aroma, your sense of taste, the texture, temperature. All of those things need to really happen so that your guest is experiencing just an overwhelming sensory experience. And that can really lead them to, you know, walking away from that plate of food saying, I had a fantastic meal. And you know, that's what we try to hit every time we cook. And I know Chef can attest to that as well. It's so much more than just piecing together the ingredients and putting it on a plate.
Yeah,
it has to be feasible, it has to be executable,
definitely,
but it also has to taste fantastic and look great.
So let's move off of potatoes for a moment. Let's talk about 2018 trends as it relates to food. What do you see on the horizon? What excites you about 2018, and maybe what depresses you about 2018 in the food world?
Well, you know, I think as RJ said, I think we're just there to to try and find another way of pushing forward to so the clientele is interested in coming to eat in the restaurants. You know, it's something where different ways of working. Like for example, the potato or basic ingredients, different varieties as well. You know, while we're here, you know, I mean, there's so many people talking about varieties. We're here with my company, the company I'm working with. We're talking about the bluebell, which is a potato here that grows very, very well in this country. It's very popular in England, but in France, it doesn't grow so well. And yet over here, the people are worried about, you've got these like blue or purple markings on the potato, and they worry about it. Right. And so we're here to, like any product, you know, we're here to assure the people that, you know, it's 100% natural, and you can do whatever you want with it. It's, you know, as RJ as well knows, we are in the business to try and get the people to come into the restaurant as much as possible, and to try and be astounded by something that we do. You know, it's as simple as that.
Trends for you in 2018, nothing to do with potatoes.
Sure, yes. So for me, you know, it is becoming a very small foodie world, and people are more and more educated about food trends and different cuisines. Global cuisines right now happen to be one of the biggest trends, and it's not just the stereotypical global cuisines that we're accustomed to here in the States. I mean, we're talking about new cuisines like North African cuisines, you know, all over the Caribbean, even to certain countries in Southeast Asia that people may not have experienced before, that really have different nuances from the standard American perception of these types of foods. So like when we have Thai cuisine, for example, you know, it's a very microcosm of Thai food, and so now we're starting to see that expand into different restaurants. On top of that, this plant-forward trend is something that also is really booming. People are decidedly focused on health. They're being more conscious about the foods that they're putting into their body, and a lot of that is also stemming from a sustainability standpoint. Reliance on animal proteins is starting to be minimized, and I just think as a chef, what's cool about it is we get to do so much more stuff with plant-forward ingredients than we can ever do with animal proteins.
Got it. Well, gentlemen, in about, you know, Jason's looking at me because he knows how well I do with a clock. In about 5 minutes from now, we're going to go back to the main stage for the Spud Nation Throwdown, and we're going to announce our 2 semifinalists. So make sure you stay tuned right here on Facebook Live and on YouTube as we head back. Thank you so much. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Phil.
It's been a pleasure.
Your work was amazing.
That's great.
So we'll see you back in just a couple minutes.